What is up, YouTube? This is AVAULT back here again today, and with you guys, giving you guys another new Speed Duel deck profile for you guys. And this time, Speed Duel deck will be Kaiba's Blue Eyes White Dragon and Lord of D Speed Duel deck. Once again, we are here again with, first of all, our sleeve review. So if you guys haven't checked out the very first Speed Duel deck of Yami Yugi's and his Dark Magician, definitely be sure to check that out as well. But before we head on into the deck profile, quickly do our sleeve review. So today we're using, of course, the man himself, Kaiba, with Blue Eyes White Dragon sleeves. Absolutely amazing. Just so you guys know that these sleeves are actually TCG exclusives and they look absolutely amazing. Very, very well printed, very well done. They got that very nice holographic glare, as you can see, equivalent to the OCG sleeves that we've probably have seen before, or if any of you guys have seen any OCG sleeves, they're absolutely amazing, extremely high quality and extremely beautiful and shiny and holographic, and these ones are exactly well done to that level point, which is extremely amazing. So once again, these sleeves are available for the TCG, so you know your local store, your Yu-Gi-Oh store, you know, locals around your area should have these sleeves in supply and can definitely buy them. Highly recommend to get them as well. And then you can just look at this magnificent art. Very nice choice of using the Majesty Revives with blue speed spell card. No, speed spell, I mean quick play spell card for the background of this very dynamic pose and nice quality of Blue Eyes White Dragon. I would really like it. It would be really awesome if they actually made Blue Eyes White Dragon with one of these arts, which would be really cool. I really like the detail because this art is slightly newer, so it's got much finer quality and very nice, you know, very great fine details with it and very nice high quality artwork. But anyways, and then we can see Kaiba in the front, you know, with his duel disc, ready to duel, ready to rumble. Extremely cool, with the Yu-Gi-Oh logo, Shonen Jump right in the middle with Konami on the top left. So very nice blue card sleeves, very great to have and highly recommend them. So with our Kaiba deck profile, first of all, we're gonna go into our main card of the deck, of the skill card, and it's called Dragon Collar. And what it does is, once per turn, you can use one of the following skills. So basically what it does is, if you successfully normal summon Lord of D, you can add one Flute of Summoning Dragon from your deck or graveyard to your hand, or you can review one Flute of the Summoning Dragon from your hand, then add one Lord of D from your deck, graveyard to your hand. So basically having one or the other basically gives you the other card essentially, which is extremely important for this deck, and I'll get into the combos very soon later, and you guys can see why. So gonna put down a skill card. So first of all, we are running, of course, 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons in this deck. Of course, it's Kaiba and his man himself, he plays 3, so we're definitely running 3. An extremely powerful monster, one of the most powerful monsters in the Speed Duel game right now. Just like the good old days when the very first Yu-Gi-Oh came out, Blue Eyes White Dragon is the king. 3000 attack, 2500 defense, absolutely powerful with no effect, which is okay, but you know, 3000 attack is literally the highest attack you have right now. And move on, next we're playing with the second strongest card, or at least the second strongest dragon card in the entire game, which is Tyrant Dragon. Extremely strong, 2900 attack, following back behind Blue Eyes White Dragon by 100 attack. Extremely strong, but it also has an effect which is absolutely amazing. So during your battle phase, if your opponent controls a monster, after this card's first attack, you can make a second attack basically and negate any trap effects that target this card on the field, which is really good. Very good defenses on it, you know, any targeting traps that would destroy it or pop it by any chance, you know, just not effective. And if you do, destroy that trap card as well, and this card cannot be special summoned from the graveyard unless you tribute one dragon monster, which is extremely great. But for the most part, you won't be special summoning this from the graveyard. You'll probably be special summoning this card from your hand in the most part. So next, for monster lineup, we are running 3 Blue Dragon Summoner. And basically it's a 1500 attack monster, not not too high but not too low either. But the main effect is basically if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can basically add one dragon warrior or spellcaster normal monster from your deck to your hand. So basically the very simple combo or the idea to use this card is basically you set it face down, or you want to let your opponent destroy this card somehow, bait them into it, so you can always get yourself the Blue Eyes White Dragon for Searcher. Now moving on next, the last heart and soul of the deck, Lord of D, that you must run in order to pull off the Dragon Collar combo or the Flute of Summoning dragon combo. So basically what Lord of D does, it basically protects all your dragon monsters. Your opponent, neither player can target monsters on the field with dragon type monsters on the field with card effects. Fully protected, in terms of targets. Again, once again, very similar effect to Tyrant Dragon, but protects some of the spells, traps, or even monster effects that would target and may possibly become a potential threat to your dragons. Really strong protector. Although the only downside is only has 1200 attack, which is fairly weak and it's really easy to attack into and destroy. But following up with the next spell cards, I'll explain how Lord of D is actually mostly used instead. So we're moving on to the spells. You are playing 3 the Flute of Summoning Dragon right here. And this is basically the combo to go off with Lord of D, and as well as Dragon Collar. You would use the skill, activate the skill when you have one or the other. So say if you have just normal summon Lord of D to the field, right here, you can basically then flip your skill and grab Flute of Summoning Dragon from your deck or graveyard into your hand. Or if you have one or the other in your hand, you can activate this, and then you can basically grab yourself Lord of D from your deck or graveyard into your hand as well. And basically what the Flute of Summoning Dragon does is extremely powerful. So all you have to do is have Lord of D on the field in order to activate this, and you basically special summon 2 dragon monsters from your hand for free. So the main goal is, of course, to bring out Tyrant Dragon or Blue Eyes White Dragon or any multiple copies of each onto the field as soon as possible. And right there you have just immediately swarmed the field with 2 extremely high attack monsters. Even if you only have 1, you can still use this spell card and just summon 1 and have 1 extremely powerful monster on the field to ram up your opponent. And then this puts pressure on your opponent, because if they it technically protects Lord of D, and Lord of D protects Blue Eyes White Dragon. In order to overcome this barrier or this massive scale monster on the board, is your opponent will have to either quickly destroy Lord of D first, but then at the same time they're still under threat and under pressure with Blue Eyes White Dragon being able to attack them right after the next turn as well. So it's pretty difficult to wipe them all out in one go, really. And once again, Blue Eyes White Dragon, extremely high attack power, extremely strong, which makes it extremely difficult. And this is why the reason you would want to play 3 of these, because you want to get access to these a copy of one of each of these cards as soon as possible, as well as being able to access Lord of D as soon as possible. So playing a total of 6 of these cards essentially gives you Dragon Collar to bring out the other immediately. So that is the base and core combo of this deck, of how you run it. So now moving on to the other spell cards, you want to play 2 Stamping Destruction in this deck as well. So basically this is the normal spell card, and what it does, if you control a dragon monster, basically target 1 spell or trap card on the field and destroy that target and inflict 500 damage to its controller. So this basically helps you get rid of your opponent's back row, just in case of anything like any traps or spells that could become a threat to your dragon type monsters, even though they don't target as well. But it's really even of those, if your opponent has spells and trap cards that don't target, because mostly you're protected from targeted effects, but you're not protected by trap cards or spell cards that basically affect everything. For example, would be Windstorm of Itaqua, where basically it changes all the position of your monsters. So being able to have the Snapping Destruction to get rid of some of your opponent's maybe field spells or continuous spells or even just any set spell traps, really good. So 2 of them must have. Next, we're also running 2 Wonder Wands. and it's extremely useful for this deck as well, because you are playing quite a handful of spellcasters. As you can see right here, Lord of D himself is a spellcaster, as well as Blue Dragon Summoner. So basically you can equip this card to one of these cards, guys, right here, and then increase the attack of these monsters by 500 attack, and you can even send them both to the graveyard and draw 2 cards. So a really good combo would be to pull off by having Blue Summoner Dragon, you know, you equip it to him and then send him these 2 cards to the graveyard, draw 2 cards, but in addition you can even search your Blue Eyes White Dragon with Blue Dragon Summoner. Or if you want to do it with Lord of D, which is also really good, you know, Lord of D is right here. And then you would use your Dragon Caller skill to basically search for your Flute of Summoning Dragon and add it to your hand. And then you can send these 2 guys, oh no, you can activate the Flute of Summoning Dragon to summon 2 of your Dragon type monsters onto the field, like that. And then you can then send Lord of D to the graveyard to basically sort of protect it, or mainly protect yourself from being run over by a higher attack monster by any chance. But although Lord of D then becomes a 1700 attack monster, which is extremely powerful and strong as well, relatively high, but you can send it to, just in case, you know, you can still send it to graveyard and draw yourself 2 cards, which is extremely useful. So this deck's consistency is extremely powerful and extremely strong, and you'll be able to bring out your cards as fast as you can and basically pulverize your opponent and run them over extremely quickly. Now moving last but not least, we have 2 trap cards that we're running. Champion's Vigilance, which is a counter trap card, and basically what it does is if you control a level 7 or higher normal type monster, when a monster will be summoned or spell / trap card is activated, you can negate the summon or activation and destroy that card. So with your accessibility of having Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field all the time, you know, having 2 of these are extremely good. You know, it's once again, it's an extremely powerful card currently in the meta, hence that's why it's an ultra rare, extremely beautiful, and basically stops, you know, your opponent's plays or really disrupts on what essential cards they're gonna play. So any threat, once again, that are posed to Blue Eyes White Dragon, basically you can have this card, flip this card over and stop that and basically destroy it, whether it be a monster that potentially have an effect that might be devastating to you, or maybe it could be a spell or / trap that could basically get rid of your monsters. So having Champion's Vigilance, really good trap defensive card once and for all to basically protect your monsters. And that basically rounds up for this entire deck profile for you guys. I hope you guys find this useful. You know, use my deck profile as reference. These are the cards that I play tested and what worked out for me the most. Some of you might have different opinions and you might run different ratios and different number of copies of these cards. Once again, speed duel decks do not currently have a limited or forbidden list, therefore you can play as many cards as you want, up to 3 copies in each deck without any limit resources. But overall, you know, some of you may ask, why don't you run 3 Champions Vigilance? Because at the end of the day, speed duels are much smaller field size. You know, there's only so many cards you can set. If you do have 2 or too many, you don't want to set too many because you might get clunky with your back row. And you know, it's not all the time you're guaranteed to have Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field. So there is one key component to this, is that you must have Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field in order for you to be able to activate this card in the first place. And you know, without it, this card is basically useless on your hand. It doesn't do anything, it doesn't do any good, you can't get rid of it, and basically it just sits there and doesn't do anything. So you know, you don't want to draw into too many of these, especially when you don't have Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field just yet. You know, you want to get into these when you're guaranteed some kind of method that you can get your Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field at the same time when you have those cards. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys find it useful. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and make sure to like the video. As always, subscribe to the AVAULT channel for more awesome and epic speed duel deck profiles upcoming. There are many more to come. There are many decks that I want to showcase you guys. And also, just so you guys know, this deck is currently one of the most powerfulest or probably the top tier speed duel decks, although there's only just a few, really, you know, maximum of 6 or 7 speed duel decks out there right now, because there's not that many cards to even utilize with. But this is currently the most powerful speed duel deck at the moment. extremely hard to beat, overcome because of Blue Eyes White Dragon, of course. And Kaiba himself, extremely strong, really powerful. So yeah, once again, be sure to subscribe to the AVAULT channel for more awesome and epic Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you guys like to watch Yu-Gi-Oh openings as well, be sure to check out the channel. The AVAULT channel opens up many Yu-Gi-Oh TCG products, and we got awesome epic pulls all the time. Really excited to show you guys. And we also open a little bit of OCG, or we'll be opening some OCG products exclusives to show you guys how amazing those cards and collections, collectible products that they have from Konami and Yu-Gi-Oh. So yeah, as always, you guys have a great day, great night wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching, and once again, this is AVAULT signing